DA wants the Office of the Public Protector to investigate 93 million rand in public funds spent on properties occupied by ministers and their deputies. The official opposition says it has damning information which shows that inflated prices were charged to maintain Pretoria and Cape Town official homes. Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana has more.
We're joined by the Democratic Alliance's Dr. Leon Schreiber, whom is filing a complaint with the Public Protector of South Africa on the back of finding out that the African National Congress has spent about 93 million in relation to ministerial houses. And this is something that the DA has really been vocal about. Of course, some arguing that this might be petty politics in the build-up to the elections in 2024. But let's get the reasoning then behind all of this from Mr. Schreiber. Thank you so much for your time. Now, we're standing at one of those houses that you've actually listed in your complaint to the Public Protector, which was renovated, the kitchen in particular, for 1.4 million rands. Now, as I've alluded to earlier on, some call it petty politics, but there is a reason, of course, behind this complaint which you feel necessary to take up to the Public Protector.
Yes, I think the latest batch of information that we've uncovered around the expenses that taxpayers are incurring through the ministerial handbook has set off a number of red flags. And this property here in Upper Kenilworth in Cape Town is one of those examples. As you say, 1.4 million rand was spent on this property to renovate the kitchen. If you look here, you can see that there's a guard station also. We were earlier confronted by some police officers, and you can see, of course, electric fencing and security around this property. Now, what we've managed to find out is that the expenses seem to be vastly inflated, and that we may have a situation here of tender corruption.
Before I let you go, I want to read a report and read it verbatim, which states that the Premier of the Western Cape, Mr. Alan Wendy, wrecked about 56,000 on an electricity bill in 5 months between 2021 and 2022. Among other perks that he also enjoys is that he doesn't pay for gardening, maintenance, computer equipment, Wi-Fi, TV subscriptions. I mean, the perks, you know them. And of course, the house valued at 177 million rand. What do you then say to those who point out the hypocrisy of the Democratic Alliance? Because at some stage in this report you can read that what the Premier is allowed to have, as per, if you could call it, the perks of officials, he has also gone above what is actually stated for the perks of officials. What do you say to those who call hypocrisy on the DA?
Yeah, so I've actually checked up on Leeuwenhof, which is the estate that you're referring to, and what this is all about. So the big distinction that I've been told about is that Leeuwenhof is a heritage estate. So it's 12 hectares of property. So when you're talking about gardening services, it's not a house. It's not a private residence. There's actually a museum at Leeuwenhof. There is a conference facility that is used there, and it's open to the public. So I think the comparison is more apt when you're comparing it to the seat of government. So this would be the Union Buildings or Mahamba and Dlopfu in Pretoria, where the President is stationed. I think it's important to point out that when it comes to NECs in the Western Cape, which is the equivalent of a minister at national level, that they actually don't get these kind of houses or residences. Of course, we also have the example from Pretoria, where the former mayor, Solly Msimanga, sold the mayoral mansion when he became the mayor. So, of course, it is right. We must make sure that there are not excessive expenses incurred, but we should also be comparing apples to apples. The one is a seat of government, the other is a private suburban house.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Lee, and talking about excessive spending on the side of the ANC governing party. And, of course, they will then be taking this matter up with the Public Protector, and we'll find out what steps will be taken in the probe that will unfold. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Athi Mtongana in Cape Town.